Welcome to Authors in Your Pocket, a weekly literary show brought to you by TriCom Podcast. Today's show is an exclusive world premiere video podcast of multi-platinum rap star C Murder, discussing his gritty, compelling first novel, Death Around the Corner.
I'm having nightmares, I'm about to die. This killer be killed, this is why I gotta let him fly. I'm seeing spirits, spitting lyrics, don't hear my cry. I'm fearing death around the corner, I don't wanna die.
Death Around the Corner is a work of fiction written during C. Murder's recent incarceration. It's the story of a young man named Daquan growing up in the troubled but closely knit community of New Orleans' 3rd Ward. It is a cautionary tale of how easily an innocent youth can become a hardened criminal in the harsh environment of the CP3. The seductive allure of fast cash, sex, and violence leads to a world where even the closest friends are not who they seem to be. While the novel evokes a lost world that is fast vanishing in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, the struggle depicted here is a universal one. From the moment Daquan heard his first blast of hip-hop, the music spoke to him and for him. While his friends are getting their street hustle cracking, his way with words is leading him in another direction, to building a new future with the city's biggest rap label. Corey Miller, aka C Murder, grew up in New Orleans in the notorious 3rd Ward housing projects and went on to turn his pain into music. He made his first rap in 1995 as part of the group True, along with his brothers Percy and Vishon, aka Master P, and Silk the Shocker. The Miller brothers went on to form No Limit Records. True's album, True to the Game, was certified platinum in 1997. C Murder was featured on numerous No Limit albums and movie soundtracks, and has released 6 solo albums to date, including Life or Death, certified platinum in 1999, and Bassolini, certified gold the same year. C Murder went on to establish True Records in 2001. His last album debuted at #1 on Billboard's independent chart in 2005. His highly anticipated album, Screaming for Vengeance, will be released on Priority Records in early 2007. C began writing his first novel while serving a life sentence for second-degree murder, a conviction that was eventually overturned. C wrote every word of this book by hand, mailing it out chapter by chapter from behind bars. And now we're pleased to have C Murder read one of his favorite passages from Death Around the Corner.
Daquan didn't cry, even though he wanted to. Life was teaching him the uselessness of tears, so at age 5, he learned not to cry, regardless of how he felt inside. This was a dangerous decision, because when you don't cry, your heart hardens like stone in a parched, waterless desert. Daquan rode back from visiting his father in county jail without shedding one tear. He had been with Grandma and Mama 2 weeks when he was finally able to see Daryl. He came out in his orange jumpsuit, chained and shackled like a beast instead of a man. He had lost weight because of the small portions of food served in county jail, and he had no money. Grandma and Mama offered to give him a few dollars, but he knew she needed it more than him. So he declined, not out of pride, but out of priority. He sat behind the 2-inch thick plexiglass and spoke to them on the phone. At first he made small talk. Then his eyes got serious as he spoke to Daquan. "You being good for Mama?" Daryl inquired. Daquan just nodded, holding the phone with both hands. "Boy, speak up." "Yes, Daddy." "Okay," Daryl answered. "Look." His words trailed off because he didn't know what to say. "Daquan, I'm not a bad man. I killed the man, but I'm not sorry. I only regret that it had to happen, but I'm not a bad man. I'm not a good man either. I'm just a man that made a choice, and I want you to understand. It ain't enough to be good, Daquan. Just look at me. I worked. I had a family. I stayed away from foolishness, but look at me." Daryl pinched his eyes to fight the tears that he too was finding useless. "What I'm trying to say is, them streets is poison. Death waiting around every corner, and you got to be more than good to escape it. Just 'cause you ain't in 'em, don't mean you can't be a victim of 'em. You hear me? Yes, Daddy, Daquan said. He would never forget the words, even though he had yet to comprehend them. You got to be more than good, Daquan. You got to be smart. And not just in school, be smart, son. Be smart. I love you, Daddy, Daquan vowed. Darryl smiled with glassy eyes and held his hand up to the window. Daquan did the same, palm to palm, separated by 2 inches of injustice. His hands were a smaller replica of his father's.
Death Around the Corner is published by Vibe Street Lit, an imprint of Kensington Publishing and Vibe Magazine, and is available wherever books are sold. If you'd like to learn more about Sea Murder and this important new novel, please visit www.deatharoundthecorner.com on the web. Or for the MySpace users in our audience, you can friend C at www.myspace.com/CMurder. If you'd like to know more about us, please visit us at www.authorsinyourpocket.com or www.TriComPodcast.com. Thanks for listening. I'm Wally Muhammad with TriCom Podcast, dedicated to putting authors in your pocket.
See Murders in the building, true records, respect it, man. MySpace.com/See Murder. Yeah. The new album, Screaming for Vengeance. Screaming. March 07. Early March. Yeah. Holla at me. All my fans, buy the book, Death Around the Corner. Purchased that the day after Christmas, December 26th. Yeah. You heard me? And send me a picture of you in the book. It's official. At cmurderfans@gmail.com. Come on. It's real. Send your phone number too, baby. Guess what? Get a personal phone call from me. For real? Thanking you for your purchase.